Like, I've been diving into this based on some situations that happened to me as an adult, which created the situation for me to make more, pay more attention about what happened, to me more than when I was a child. And my family's not really happy about me wanting to make these correlations as to my current situation being, associated with my childhood experience. And so this could be a more gentle way of being like, there's nothing wrong with me. This happened to me. I'm not blaming you. I think that's a lot of its situation, maybe in different sectors of different cultures or different groups of people. Like, my family is like third generation from Switzerland. And so like being very stoic, not talking about your feelings, pulling yourself, up by your britches and things like that is very ingrained. Being very independent, not talking about your feelings, and stuff like that is very, ingrained in who we are and how we function, but everybody's not functioning very well, and that the intimacy and the relationships could be so much deeper if we would allow ourselves to share in our vulnerabilities and to, like, even for my current situation, like I know for certain some of my aunts have experienced DV, but when it happened to me, no one came forward, no one talked to me, no one said, hey, on that side of my family, like I have an aunt on my other side who said something, but there's just a huge taboo in talking about that. Or even, with my kids, I have little kids and I'm really diving really deep into like physical, punishment and whatnot, and how I don't believe in that and what that means. I think a lot of times it just turns people off and they just kind of like want to run away and be like, are you saying that I'm abusing my kids? And I'm like, well, I'm not really, it's not me. I'm not like, that's just like, that's the truth. That's what happens.
For me, now as a grown adult, I'm 45 years old. Like, emotions is hard for me to feel and to process because I didn't see it growing up. My mother was like a robot.
Wow.
She did everything she was supposed to do as a mother. She took care of us. She cleaned the house. She went to work. She held it down. She took all the BS from my father and everything. But there was something missing. There was a human emotion that was missing that I didn't get from her. And so now for me, it feels foreign to have feelings.
We need trauma training. How about trauma training for cab drivers? And that's what I've been saying for, like, we need a trauma-informed society, because if everybody knew what this looked like, and what it can do. And the other thing that came to me is just like, I don't know, like we were talking about policy, and like so often we look to them to fix this shit for us. But this right here is what we need to be doing. We need, like, nobody's gonna fix it for us. We gotta fix it for each other and heal our communities.
One part I liked was showing the transition with her daughter and how she recognized that she broke, the generational chains and things. But that's what I think ACE's awareness or ACE's Matter is going to do, like hold the mirror up in front of people and kind of say, like, this is what happened to you and it's not your fault. And then the educational piece of how you can recover from it is not all hope, So once it's like empowering them with this education. So now I know what objects to avoid for my children. And so then I'll parent accordingly, because it's kind of like a roadmap.
A lot of people can sense that because you just don't have that self-worth.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're walking around where you just feel like you don't have that self-worth, then you will get taken advantage of.
I don't look like what I've been through. And Ghost, you hit it dead on. I had in a therapist's office in Jacksonville, Florida, little white lady looked up at me and said, sit down. And I'm like, uh-oh, what's going on, man? Here we go with this crap. And because I normally would tell you what you want to hear so I can get up out of there. And she sat me down and said, I'm gonna name you. I'm gonna call you an eagle. Okay, and I'm gonna put you, from this point on. You come in here. I'm gonna say, "What's up, eagle?" And I want you to soar. And she put a handheld mirror in front of my face, and she said, "I read your resume, and this lady, I guess she Googled me, man, or whatever. I don't know what she did, but she knew everything about me, man. She took the time, she closed the door, she made me talk to that person in the mirror. And that was a little over 5 years ago, and it changed my life.
You got some people behind you who believe in you, just like she told that lady she believed in her. You could do it too. And I think we need more people telling more people that you can do it just like I did it, and being transparent. So I'm glad that all of us are here to be honest and transparent about our ACEs and our childhood, because, you know, it's kind of corny that they put this online, but childhood trauma is the gateway drug, not nothing else.
I agree. Just bouncing off of what Ruby said. I've seen it first too with my children, and you take it in as just a Disney movie. You don't really see the grown signals they're throwing at you. They're letting you know that the way you treat your emotions are ultimately the way that you're going to act in life. I'm going to bring up one of the scenes just for comparison. When they were at the dinner table and they show everybody's emotions in their head, you can see which emotion is in control. Like with Riley, her emotion that's in control is joy. With the mother, it's sadness. And with the father, it's anger. So the way you treat your emotions are the way you ultimately shape your life. And what emotion controls you is how you react in situations right off the bat.
God placed me in this world to raise my children how I need to. I'm sorry that I wasn't there for you when you needed me, but I am here now. I am protecting you, and I was loving you the best way that I learned how to.
The key to successful navigation in social realms and leading to like a high quality or a rich quality of life, right, lies within the emotional awareness and the emotional regulation, right, versus the emotional reasons, the emotional reasoning and the cognitive distortions that come with most of that delayed development that happens with those adverse experiences. It just goes to show just how powerful that neuroelasticity piece is, and how like connecting and telling that story and letting your story be your power so you can take your power back and literally understand how and what is happening inside of you and correlate that with what's happening around you, right? Based on all of the things that you've already been through.
For me, myself, I had to kind of teach myself that emotional intelligence, but it wasn't until I learned about my trauma and what I was going through mentally. I had to understand and learn myself all over again, because I didn't even know what trauma was. So my intellect didn't come in until I started understanding myself and working on what my trauma was.
I like to add, something I say every morning is I cannot control other people. I can only control my reactions to them. And I say that to myself over and over and over. I cannot control other people, but I can control my reaction to them. And it's been really helping me.
I graduated college, I went, the whole thing, and I was like, that's it? I still don't know how to deal with me. I still don't know how to deal with other people, really. I don't know what's going on inside of me. My parents were pretty clueless. They weren't mean and vicious like some parents, but they were really clueless.
I really, 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 really appreciated the speakers that you brought on today. I'm not gonna lie, it's crazy how it just so happens that I really needed to be on this call tonight, because it's like everything that's kind of been going on throughout the rest of my day, some of the heated conversations I had, it's funny how people can say things to you, but sometimes it sounds different when it comes out of somebody else's mouth. So just to hear Matt essentially kind of reiterate, even if it came out of my own mouth, that it's like, you control you, like you can control that. I think it's very humbling and grounding to realize that we really, it all starts from within and then comes out.
Me too. It was wonderful. It was wonderful. I enjoyed tonight. The speakers were awesome.
No matter what she had to do, she was determined she was going to keep everybody happy. But I think the main problem in her trying to keep every emotion in its place, she didn't realize that we need all of those emotions to make us who we are. It's okay to feel sad. You know, as long as we understand why we're feeling sad, there's a reason.
So I think it relates to ACEs where if those things aren't done, so what are the things when somebody's abused or in a dysfunctional home, you don't know how to put those emotions together. So some just go into exile for who knows how long. Some of the hurts you don't even know you have, just bury it and you put the mean face on or the happy face, whatever you need to do to survive. And then the brokenness remains hidden.
The word mind-blowing stood out for me because learning each time different scenarios of ACEs and different people and the faces that come along with it, and it helps me to face mine because with that information, I now am able to even talk about it, put it in words. It's more of a feeling of resilience. Now I know the word for that feeling. I can match it now.
9 is very high. That means I had severe adverse childhood experiences. But that goes with my passion towards the children. The children led me to the grandparents. Now I love grandkids. Now I bring them together. They all work together, right? I will bring the test next time I come if you all are interested. But that score is very important because it shows why you perceive things the way you perceive. It has nothing really to do with nobody else. It's really about my upbringing and what happened in my household.
What would have life been like for you if you could have skipped childhood? If you could help people be better, healthier adults, would you? Truth is, the fact that every person on earth had to experience childhood is enough to care about the ACEs Matter cause. ACEs are so common that 1 in every 6 people have been exposed. Average childhood experiences, aka ACEs, are like time capsules of a traumatic past and a looking glass into a blurry future. ACEs are one of the root causes to poor employee performance, mental illness, crime, disease, and even poor quality of life, just to name a few. According to the CDC, 8 out of the 10 leading causes of death in the US correlate with the exposure to 4 or more ACEs. If they can be predicted, they can be prevented. ACEs Matter is on a mission to stop generational cycles of ACEs, and you can help by starting a campaign or making a small tax-deductible donation. You can help 1 million families get the support that they need to treat and heal from childhood adversities that have affected their adulthoods. We want to hire, train, and deploy 250 community influencers by the end of 2025. Our goal is to raise $1.3 million in order to begin with operations for this initiative. Donations would go towards mobile deployment of trained trauma professionals, community outreach, and door-to-door awareness. Get involved, see the results, save a life, and repeat. Visit acesmatter.org to learn more. Let's be real, we need to heal.